Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Manifest with Markesha. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm your girl, Markesha, mindset coach, truth speaker, and here to help you reclaim your identity, remind you that you are powerful, and to step boldly into the highest version of yourself. Today's episode, I'm going to handle just a little bit different. This is not going to be about me giving you tips and tricks, coaching from the sideline. This is going to be me sharing in life's experiences. The one that we all collectively have gone through and are going through. And this is just me being vulnerable enough to speak about it. And that's life. Let's face it, it isn't always fair, but we all have had to figure out how to navigate its path. I've had to coach myself through some hard moments, and one of the deepest being betrayal. So let's get into it a little bit. Most of us, if not all of us, have been betrayed by someone we love. And when you are betrayed by someone you've trusted, someone who should have either had your back or protected your heart, that kind of burn hits differently. It's really not about breaking trust. It's about shaking your self-worth. So let me say this before I go any further. For anyone who is currently struggling with or has struggled with the burn of betrayal, then let me either be the first to tell you or at least be a reminder for you. You didn't fail by trusting someone. They failed you by betraying. So do not stop being you in all of your beauty or handsomeness, whether you're a guy or a girl. Don't stop being you because someone failed to recognize your worth. Okay? How to put a pause in there and say that real quick. I know me personally, I tend to lead with love. I'm the type of person to wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm very loving, giving, and I'm nurturing with all of my relationships. That's my family and my friends, y'all. And yes, that has left me open to be taken advantage of, open to be taken for granted, and unfortunately have put me in positions where becoming callous felt like the better option. Or I would say the lesser of two evils, or however you want to categorize it, has put me in a position where I have been tempted to work extra hard to prove my value and my worth to someone committed to mishandling me. But here's what I've learned and what I want to share. The burden doesn't belong on your shoulders. The blame belongs where it's due. And that's on the one who felt the need to betray you in whatever way they felt the need to betray you. We're conditioned to believe we should continue to offer ourselves in any capacity to people who are clearly showing their intentions is to do right by themselves and benefit from you. And so often we don't learn when people begin to show you who they are. Listen, I get it. I come from, I'm not going to say a tight-knit family, but I have always had the desire to have my family and my friends close, like to have this community. We all desire to be accepted. We all desire to be understood. But ignoring the obvious, whether it be in our family or friends, loved ones, whatever, when we start ignoring the obvious and holding fast in hopes that someone would eventually change, it's doing a disservice to the love of yourself. And this is not a matter of forgiveness. You can forgive a person and have no dealings with them at the same time. But here's the thing, what happens when we don't? When we keep going down the path with the warning signs? Well, fortunately, life gives us a teacher. And that teacher comes in the form of the burn by betrayal. Betrayal is like a fire, painful, but powerful. Because if you allow it, it will and can transform you. See, like gold is purified because it is refined by fire, betrayal has a way of harnessing those same fiery traits. Betrayal can strip away anything that does not serve your highest self. If you think about it, it burns off false identities, surface level connections, outdated beliefs. It honestly just scorches the masks that are being worn, the ones that we wear ourselves and the ones that the people we deal with wear. And when we start living an unmasked life, not everybody about to clap for that version, not that version of you. You might ask why. Shouldn't people be happy for me when I start changing for the better? Shouldn't people be happy when I started showing myself love and, prioritizing what's important for me? No, people don't really care about you like that, because your boundaries, it disrupts their comfort. When you start saying no after years of being a yes person, after being the peacemaker, the glue, the one others can easily manipulate, you stop being their safe bet. Oh, trust and believe you're going to be suddenly labeled as disloyal. They're going to be like, you flipped the script. When in reality, they flipping the script, making you the betrayer for refusing to betray yourself. But you have to remember, guys, when you put your boundaries up, that's not being cold. That's walking in clarity. And it takes clarity to understand not everybody deserves access to your heart, your time, or your presence. And don't get it twisted for 1 second, guys. Y'all got to understand there is purpose in everything. The fire is divine. The betrayal is divine. It's God's refining tool, whether you realize it or not. And what survives the burn is what is always meant to be the real view, your real truth, your power, your resilience. Another thing I've learned about betrayal is that it tends to serve up as a wake-up call. It jolts you out of the patterns of making you finally see the truth. All of a sudden, what was cloudy, the fog starts to lift for you. You stop begging for crumbs. You stop shrinking yourself. You start remembering who you are. You be like, man, I am important. Shoot, my feelings do matter. What I desire is important. And it doesn't just burn, it clarifies. You start walking with your chest popped up a little bit because you're being realigned. That version of you, the one that is able to rise from the betrayal, is the one that's going to rise and is meant to rise stronger, clearer, and more powerful than ever. The last thing I'm going to talk about, but it's most certainly not like the only thing left or the last thing left. It's just the greatest lesson for me that I've learned is that you must pour into yourself first before you can pour into someone else, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. I want to say that again because I feel it's that important. You can't pour from an empty cup. And betrayal, if you allow it to purify and realign you, it forces you to stop giving from a place of depletion and start giving from a place of overflow. Loving yourself first isn't selfish, it's sacred. And whether you realize it or not, boundaries are an act of self-respect. And when you fill your own cup, you really begin to attract the people who match your energy and not drain it. Here's my final thoughts, y'all. Life's challenges were never sent to break you. They were meant to build you. And God loves us so much that He won't allow us to stay on structure that's shaky. So He'll allow it to be destroyed so that it can be rebuilt upon the solid rock. So if you are down and out right now, I encourage you, rise from the ashes. The fire may have hurt. I get it. You cut me, I bleed. It's a real thing. Feel your feelings. But it reveals the truth. It shows you what's real, and it reminds you that your worth was never in their hands. So now what do you do when you've been burned by betrayal? Rise, but rise unbroken. I want to leave you with this to think about. What mask are you ready to remove? What boundaries is ready to be built in your life? This is a part of the process. Trust the process. You're growing stronger, bigger, and better from all of it. So keep walking in your truth, keep honoring your heart, and most importantly, keep showing up for you. The world needs the real version of you, the unmasked, unshaken, unapologetic you. Until next time, be empowered.